morning, students. Today, let's discuss about another genetic aspect, that is polygenic inheritance. Mendel studied most of the characters which Mendel studied had only two contrasting traits. Most of the Mendel studies were held on characters which were controlled by a single gene, one gene governing one character, and these genes had only two alleles. But in the previous classes we have seen that there are certain genes which have more than two alleles. What is that phenomenon called as? Multiple allelism. We also saw another aspect where one gene controls more than two characters. That is the phenotypic expression, one gene, it has only two alleles, but more than two characters it governs. Now, if we look around, we find that there are certain characters which have many contrasting traits. For example, height of human beings, right? If we look around, we find human beings with various heights. We find very tall people, we find dwarf people, we find intermediate height. Intermediate heights also different, isn't it? So we find one character with many contrasting traits. Now today we are going to study about such a aspect, that is polygenic inheritance. When we say polygenes, poly means what? Poly means many, isn't it? Polygenes means many genes. Many genes governing a single character. One character is the cumulative effect of many genes. That is the meaning of polygenic inheritance. So let's see how can we define polygenic inheritance. Polygenic inheritance can be defined as the inheritance of a genetic character or trait. Genetic character or trait controlled by more than two genes. So, what is polygenic inheritance? We can define polygenic inheritance as the inheritance of a genetic character or a genetic trait which is controlled by more than two genes. Hope it's clear? Now, this was first discovered by, polygenic inheritance was first discovered by two famous biologists, one by name Nielsen L. and Edward East. Nielsen L. and Edward East. These were the two scientists who discovered this polygenic inheritance while studying kernel color in wheat. So, wheat varieties. There are two main varieties, that is red and white. When these two varieties, wheat with red color kernel and wheat with white colored kernel, when these two varieties were crossed, they found that there were many intermediate colors for the kernel. So, during that experiment, these two biologists discovered this polygenic inheritance. And in your NCERT textbook, they have given the example of skin color in human beings. So we will discuss about skin color of human beings as an example for polygenic inheritance. So, skin color in human beings is controlled by three genes which have cumulative effect or additive effect. So, in human beings, skin color is controlled by, example, skin color in human beings. So, skin color in human beings is controlled by three genes. Let us take those three as A, B and C. These three genes have two alleles each. Each gene, A gene has two alleles, a dominant allele which can be written by using capital letter A recessive allele which can be written by using small letter A, capital B and small letter B, and capital C and small letter C. So each of these gene has two alleles. Okay, now a person with the genotype capital A, capital A, capital B, capital C, that means homozygous dominant condition for all the three genes. An individual with this genotype will be having the darkest skin color, right? And an individual with homozygous recessive condition for all these three genes will be having the lightest skin. Hope it's clear. So in human beings, skin color is controlled by three genes which have two alleles each, and each of these genes has an cumulative effect or additive effect. So an individual with homozygous genotype will be having the darkest skin color, and a person with recessive genotype for all the three genes will be showing the lightest skin color. Suppose if there is a cross between these two, a darker skin and a lighter skin, the F1 hybrid will be having an intermediate, F1 generation will be having intermediate genotype. So what will be the intermediate genotype of these two cross? It will be capital A, capital B, small b, capital C and small c. This person will be having intermediate skin color. Now if a person with intermediate skin color marries the next generation. So just tell me how many gametes will be produced from this genotype. A person with this genotype produces how many gametes? There will be 8 gametes. Which are the 8 gametes? Can you just tell? That is each. This will be one A, B, C. Right? Another one is A, capital B, A, small b, capital C. Then the third one will be A, capital B, small c. Right? Then A, capital B, capital C we have written. So capital B, capital C, small b. Now small b, small c. Right? So 4. Then what is the next possibility? It can be small letter A, capital letter B, capital letter C. Small letter A, small letter B, capital letter C, small letter A, then capital letter B and small letter C. Right? Then one more possibility is, so B ka 4 possibilities are over, I suppose. One more possibility is small a, small b and small c. So 4 gametes will be produced. 4 gametes will be produced by this intermediate, by this genotype person. And if there are 4 gametes, how many offsprings will be formed? One parent produces 8 gametes, right? Not 4 gametes, 8 gametes. One person produces 8 gametes, one parent. The other parent also produces 8 gametes. So there will be totally how many? So 8 gametes, and there will be 64 offsprings. Isn't it? And each of these offspring will be having a variation in the genotype, and as a result, the skin color also varies. Hope it's clear. So this is how the inheritance of polygenes takes place. Polygenes are also called as cumulative genes or additive genes. Cumulative genes or additive genes, because they have an additive effect. They have an additive effect. And now from this, what is clear? The more the number of dominant genes, the darkest the skin complexion. The less the number of dominant genes, the lighter the skin complexion. So recessive genes more means it will be skin color will be fair or light, whereas the dominant genes are more, then the skin color will be more. So it depends on the dosage of the genes. Okay, the dosage of the dominant allele. If the dosage or if the number of dominant allele is more, then the skin color will be dark. Hope it's clear. So I hope you understood what is polygenic inheritance. Okay, so you should know it is polygenic inheritance is exactly opposite of pleiotropy. So once again, let me write all the four different phenomena that we have studied. First one is normally a single allele gene has how many alleles? One gene. Normal condition is one gene, then one character, one gene, two alleles, right? One character. Now, second one, this is a normal condition. Now, one gene, right? More than two alleles. More than two alleles governing one character. This is what this condition is called as multiple allelism, isn't it? This is multiple allelism or multiple alleles, right? Now, the next condition is pleiotropy. What is pleiotropy? One gene, right? Two alleles, but more than two alleles govern more than one character or more than one phenotypic expression. This is pleiotropy. And today what have we discussed? We have discussed about polygenes. What are polygenes? Many genes, right? Many genes. Each gene having two alleles. Each having two alleles, but character is again one. Okay, so keep all these are the key points that you have to remember when you study about multiple alleles, pleiotropy and polygenes. So don't get confused. So pleiotropy, polygenic